Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Today our topic is After Apple Picking. It's a beautiful poem and it has been written by Robert Frost. Robert Frost, is an American poet. He is a mystic poet. He has his poem has a different connotation, different meanings. That's sometimes very difficult to understand. Robert Frost, but whatever images he has used in this poem is not difficult for we people to understand because we are acquainted with all these things, whatever he has described in his poetry or particularly in this poem. Let's try to understand, go through the lines and try to understand this meaning. The very heading, apple picking, after apple picking. Apple picking here, it's a job, it's a work. We harvest apples when they are ripe, and so that's called the apple picking. But in deeper sense, it means to fulfill one's desires. One comes to the world and tries very hard to fulfill his desires and dreams and whatever he has longed. He puts all his efforts to fulfill those desires. And after that, what after that? Means after you fulfill all the desires and dreams, then it is the death that is approaching. That's there. So after apple picking, what? That has been written in the, let's try to understand this. My long two-pointed ladders sticking through a tree towards heaven's citadel, and there's that I didn't fill beside it. My long two-pointed, we usually use it a long this ladder to pick or to pluck the apples, and we put it against the any branch of the apple tree. Then one mounts on that, climbs the ladder, and that plucks. So it is usually we know about it how my long two-pointed ladder sticking through a tree, sticking that has been put against the branch, and that sticks 2 point sticks towards the heaven, towards the sky. Mean other words, it also means death, and this symbol has been used as death towards heaven, citadel, the sky. That's it, and there is that I didn't fill beside it. And there may be 2 or 3 apples I didn't pick up on some bough. Bough means a big branch. Means I have been doing picking apples, plucking, harvesting apples, collecting them. Maybe there may be 2 or 3 yet to be harvested, yet to be plucked in some branch. Almost I have done it. In other words, I have, at the end of the day, you have tried to fulfill your dreams and fulfill your desires. Maybe some dreams, desires that you have cherished in your life may have not been fulfilled at the end of the day. Here it means that apples I didn't pick up on some bough, maybe on some bough, on some big branch, some apples, a few apples may be there. But most of them I have plucked, but I am done with. Means I have completed, I have finished apple picking. Now this time I have almost completed my work. I have fulfilled all my desires. I have whatever I have cherished in my life, I have almost done. Maybe a few things are yet to be fulfilled. Almost I have done it. Essence of winter sleep is on. Essence means a quality. Essence of winter sleep is on. When it is autumn when we collected apples, and that in late autumn it is the winter that is approaching. So it cast its shadows before. Means the winter sleep is on the night. Night is approaching, or in other words, winter is approaching. And when winter is approaching, one feels a bit sleepy. One feels that one is approaching to the death, one is approaching. That winter is also a symbol of that lethargy and laziness and all that, or the death in other words. Thus, the scent of apples, and at the time in the late autumn, the apple emits fragrance, scent. All around there is a fragrance of the apples that is there. I'm browsing off, but I'm feeling a bit sleepy. drowsiness is just overpowering me. I'm feeling drowsing off, and I'm feeling a bit sleepy. Means I have completed my work. I have done with my job. What was that? That was the apple picking, and now I am feeling very exhausted and tired, and now I am feeling a bit sleepy. I cannot rub the strangeness from my sight. I got from looking through a pan of glass. I skimmed this morning from the drinking trough. Skimmed means to remove some substance from the surface of the liquid here. And I cannot rub the strangeness from when I saw through, got looking through a pan of glass, a sheet of glass, a sheet of ice that I have skimmed, that I have removed from the drinking trough. In the farmhouses, people have a deep pits that's filled with water for animals to drink, and from that the upper portion of the water gets frozen, and there is a sheet of type of a sheet of glass. When I skimmed that the sheet of ice, a pan of ice, glass, pan of glass like thing from it, and when I saw through it, in the other side there shows a bit of strangeness which I could not shun, which I could not rub it off. That strangeness when I saw through that pan of glass, that frozen ice, and I skimmed this morning from the morning. Early in the morning, he had skimmed it, he had removed it from the that, and now this time it is the night is now approaching. After that, he had just worked hard. He has just collected apple and picked the apple, but now it is the night time, and now he's approaching to sleep, and he's feeling a bit sleepy, and held against a world of hoary grass. When that sheet of glass that was held against the hoary grass that has accumulated frost in approaching winter or in the late autumn, it is the grass that there is a bit frost that gets accumulated over the grass, and that is visible through that. Means that is also the sign of winter, approaching of winter, and that is also a bit strange thing for me, and I couldn't rub off that strangeness. It was said about the morning when he just woke up and began to go to his work, and there he saw all these things, and it melted and I let it fall and break. For some time he kept in his hand and tried to saw through this pan of glass and try to understand it, try to see the other side of the glass, which is very strange, which is very difficult for me to understand. In other words, it is a sheet of glass that is between life and death. So what is the other side of the glass? What is the other side of the after the death? It is very difficult for me to understand. So he said like it melted, and at the end it melted and it fell, means I came back to my senses and break. But I was well upon my way to sleep before it fell. Now I was feeling a bit sleepy. I was well upon my way to sleep. I was feeling sleepy because he has completed his task of apple picking at the end. Now he was just feeling sleepy, and I could tell what form my dreaming was about to take. Now, because he has been absorbed in collecting the apples, picking the apples, and now this is, he knows what type of dream he is going to dream now, what type of dream he is going to have in his sleep. Now, usually a person who is working very hard to do something, usually he has the same thing in his dreams. So it is the apple picking that one come to his dreams. So let's continue. Well, we know that a person who is absorbed in some work, and or one who is being doing very hard to fulfill his dreams and desires, at the end of the day when he's approaching to his death, and at that time he's still having the dreams of he's dreaming about these desires what he was working for. And this is this is a long poem, and this has been written by Robert Frost. And so far as it is form is concerned, it doesn't strictly conform some form, though the meter is iambic pentameter, but it doesn't sit there. And the images that has been used here is a ladder, here is a this apple picking, and all these this pan of glass. All these are different images. We can understand that that's not strange, unacquainted to us. They are acquainted to us. We are familiar to us. So we know everything about all these things. It's not difficult. But though they have different connotation, they have different meaning in this poem, because the poet is mystic. So he has, they have a deeper meaning. In usual sense, we say this type of a job when we are harvesting apples, we are going to the field, we collect the apple, and we do all these chores. At the end, we are exhausted. All this, but it means something different. It means something different for the poet who is talking about talking about his death. Let's do the remaining portion of the poem in the next lecture. We will discuss many more things. Okay, till then, Khuda Hafiz.